That's all that they care about. So it's more right there in that ban for me. I read that as Envy banning OPTIC's best map, and then OPTIC just banning the map that they hate more than anything. So I think they're just kind of like, okay, we're fine with playing those other two.
It's gonna go that way every
single time.
You have to feel that way. Then of course, Search and Destroy. We'll see how those vetoes went in just a few moments. Of course, they are looking at OPTIC Gaming, getting ready on the main stage. As for Search and Destroy vetoes, OPTIC Gaming get rid of USS Texas. They don't want any part of that. Team ENVYUS get rid of London Docks. So we have Ardennes Forest, St. Marie-du-Mont. OPTIC Gaming pick St. Marie-du-Mont. That will be map 2. And if the series goes to game 5, Ardennes Forest will be the map.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't the USS Texas map the one that OPTIC lost 6-2 yesterday to E6? So no surprise to see them ban that out. Didn't go well yesterday. Might as well avoid it today.
Yeah, no surprises there. Again, not only like USS Texas just hasn't been the most popular map for S&D for any of the teams of the event so far. Like I was even surprised that we saw it in the previous series with Splice versus E-United.
We've seen it. Well, that's what I believe Merc and I were talking about a couple series ago. We were surprised how much we've actually seen Texas when I thought that was going to be one of the more popular bands really coming in.
Yeah, I mean, between that and Gibraltar Hardpoint, it's like we're seeing. I think we've seen one Gibraltar Hardpoint. I think so.
I haven't seen one. I'm not shocked there.
Might have been a crazy dream.
Anyway, moving on in the veto process, let's take a look at how Capture the Flag went down. Of course, 3 maps in the cycle. First map to be removed will be Flag Tower. Team members get rid of it. OPTIC Gaming responded with an Ardennes Forest ban, which means it will be a London Docks CTF. With that kind of map set, Jack, how are you feeling now about the series as a whole?
Oh, I mean, this is one for me that I think either team is capable of taking. I've got to favor OPTIC Gaming again coming into this event. I had them as a tournament favorite. They've gotten kind of their hiccups out of the way. They're now 2-0 in this pool. They want to secure that top spot, waiting for that open bracket team.
I guess maybe one question for me. You saw Ardennes Forest for OPTIC versus E6 yesterday, and OPTIC got outslayed big time, but they still won the map, right? They played a little bit smarter. You saw a lot of mistakes from the young players on E6. Can Envy overcome that? You know, we know they have the slaying potential, but were the young guys maybe have some of the flaws that we saw from the E6 side? I don't know, but I think Envy has potential to win game 1 if they can maybe more turn that slaying favor to their favor in the actual map.
I think for Envy, this is about really getting that momentum and snowballing it through the series. Whether they'll be able to do it, we'll have to wait and see. Elsewhere in the tournament, just to keep you updated, EG did close out game 4. That's a 3-1 victory for them. Vitality LG, that is in a game 5. We will make sure you do not miss any of the action. For now, though, on the Alpha Station, on our main stage. As I said before, a decade of rivalry in esports. It's OPTIC Gaming versus Team ENVYUS. Map number 1 underway.
Let's get it, boys. This is the one we've all been looking for. As soon as we saw the draw in pool play, you're like, my God, this is going to be one incredible matchup, and it got chippy really early in the 2Ks, like I mentioned earlier.
This could arguably be the most viewed competitive Call of Duty World War II match to date so far, and it's going to be a fantastic one. So buckle on in, folks. OPTIC Gaming going up against Team ENVYUS. Off the break, we're watching the young prodigy himself, Hook. He's made his return to competitive Call of Duty. And man, is he back with a roster that I know he's happy with.
And I think he is the single biggest question mark for me, at least for this first tournament for Envy. We know how recently he switched back to Call of Duty. We know how talented he is. But is he going to play catch-up and be ready to go quickly enough for this first event is the big thing.
Exactly. And this is a guy, Hook, that back in Advanced Warfare made it to, I believe, 5 grand finals of tournaments in which he faced this OPTIC Gaming team in some fashion. Right now, it's OPTIC Gaming up 42-0 off the break. Kills coming in on rotation. Only one final player there. That's Formal, who's got his hands full with 2 ENVYUS players. OPTIC, a flawless hold at the first hill.
That's a terrifying start. 53-0 to kick it off here for OPTIC. Now, the big thing you can't allow OPTIC to break here easily on the second hard point. You at least have the early setup here for your Team ENVYUS. You got to turn this into a ton of time.
Well, I actually really like this setup that Envy have right now. They've got their focus on mid-map. Because they have 2 players in Ruins, they can easily supplement whichever side OPTIC Gaming tries to push. Right now, it does appear that they're just flooding right on through that main front area. Envy still have Temp here with this SMG, who Temp's 8-3, a 4 streak, trying to earn streaks of his own.
Yeah, and you know, we were in the back with him and Crim6, and we were trying to get them to talk a little trash, but all they really said was like, you know, let's show it with our play. That's what both of them said. They know how big this matchup is. They want to come out and prove it here with their gun skill and get a W for the roster.
Temp dies to an unfortunate engagement versus Formal, immediately spawns back up, 2 pieces, back in the hard point. 57-24 right now the score. OPTIC will get the scrap time, but again, it's Envy in control of the new hill. They've only cut down about 10 seconds, though, on this OPTIC Gaming lead.
Yeah, and you can just see, you know, if you're not familiar maybe with the boots to the ground hard point, the differences of it, you'll see really when you get the early rotation how difficult those gunfights are. You saw Crim just push out mid-map with Tim sitting on that mid-barrel.
Yeah.
It's just not a gunfight you're ever going to win. ENVY just needs to get a bunch of time here. They're starting to trickle back into this one.
Love this view with the sky cam. You can see exactly how OPTIC Gaming are trying to develop this push. That's the second hill in a row where they just try to flood from the front side. They're not really worrying too much about the spawns. They just want to get into that bunker, and they're confident they can secure the time from there. Doesn't really work out for him there. Thankfully, Karma's made his way on in. He's trying to make a hero play. Does get 2 before he pays the ultimate price, but ENVY now within punching distance.
And you know, you mentioned confidence, and it is big, especially when you're going up a team like OPTIC Gaming. You have to be a team that believes you can beat them. That's one of the first steps to actually take out the juggernauts that are OPTIC. And what was the team name for ENVY in the very first 2K? It was 2018 World Champions, I believe, is how they come in. You know the confidence these guys have. The question is that going to be enough?
Well, we were joking backstage because we know Temp is someone that likes to talk a lot of trash. I'll tell you right now, if you're new to watching and if ENVY take this map, if the camera goes on Temp, he'll be up standing, probably chirping across the stage. But backstage in the pro lounge, neither player, Crim6 and Temp, they didn't want to fire the other one up. So they were instead of talking trash, they're like, no, good luck. Yeah, I'm really excited to see you do well.
Show with your gameplay.
I was like, okay, what is going on?
But Hook now coming through with a 2 pieces. ENVY still not really, I mean, they're in it, but haven't been able to bring this back and put it in their favor to any degree. And, you know, you're dealing with a very slow start from Scump. You know, Scump has been frustrated at times coming into this week, and I can tell how excited he was to get on land and assert his dominance yet again. He's been great throughout the opening couple days, but starting a bit slow here.
We talked about this a few times in last year's season where Scump would have some slow starts to hard points, and it would be one where, you know, the game would be close. And then OPTIC Gaming, once Scump heated up, it would be like a 100-point club victory. Right now, though, Scump starts this game 2-9, and OPTIC's up by 40. So what happens if Scump begins to win even more gunfights in the hill? He's already got a minute inside the hard point. What if he starts winning, you know, engagements, getting 2 pieces? This game's going to be blown wide open.
And this reminds me a little bit of what we saw OPTIC Gaming versus E6 and Ardent Forest. Basically, the entire team in negative outside of Karma, the slaying differential going a little bit towards ENVY, but they still are controlling the lead. It's just the heads-up plays, whether it's, you know, watching the death cam, making sure you pop up when the next hard point comes in, or just the coordinated breaks they've had behind smokes a couple of times. They just seem to do the dirty work so well. It's a team that plays to win, and they're showing you that right now.
ENVY down by about 50 seconds. They've had close to this deficit for the last few hills, can absolutely come back. I do love the use of smokes here from Karma. He's trying to cut off the sight lines from the assault rifle players of ENVY to make sure he can pressure that hill with the SMG. Right there, if he doesn't use a smoke, he gets gunned by an AR. Yeah. But because he uses it, he pops in the hard point, and OPTIC Gaming take a 40-second swing.
And this was talked about early with the dominance of the bar early, and then now how the FG has just been, I mean, so dominant from an AR position. How do you deal with that? Smokes is one of the great ways to do it.
This, for me, is the hill that will determine this game. Right now, ENVY have rotated here. OPTIC, though, already with close pressure. They might just clean break right off one push on this hill, and that would be disaster for ENVY. Look, there it is. Crim the final 2-piece. Now OPTIC up by 1 minute. They've secured the ruins with 45 seconds left to go. This is going to get scary here quick for Boys in Blue fans.
Well, Crim picks up 1, but now the flood all coming in for you, and he is just snapping right now. 7 left in the magazine, but his teammates got him covered, and he's got a couple of streaks to work with. The fighter pilot, the glide bomb, ready to go, and now doubling up their opponents, 145 to 70. OPTIC Gaming in complete control.
If you were tuned in early this morning, Crim6 in the first map on the main stage for himself went on an 11 streak. The kill feed now all green. As you can see, Karma joining Crim6 in positive overall now in this game. OPTIC have now doubled the score of ENVY, even with Scump just at 8 and 18. ENVY just can't seem to get much going right now. They've lost some key engagements on the rotation, and they paid the price by 30, 40-second swing from these hills by OPTIC.
And you said it there, it's just the key engagements, right? Just the overall raw slaying not going to be as crucial as just, you know, doing it in the crucial moments. But we're on with Crim now, who just continues to line up players of Team ENVYUS with this FG42. Still has the streaks to work with, and they're just racking up a big chunk of easy time right here at Bunker.
Yeah, ENVY need to get something going here quick, whether it's a streak, whether it's a break, fight for these spawns. Crim is just having a field day in middle map. Look at the scoreboard right now. Last year, if I just showed you the numbers, you would have thought the stats put up would be, you know, Scump and formal with those positive KDs. Now, not surprised at all. to see this flipped for boots on the ground.
Yes, and we've seen it. It's not just here. We saw it throughout the 2Ks, right? I mean, Krim has been leading the way really in that slaying department. Karma's been right there with them a lot of times, but that's why this roster is so terrifying, right? Any of the guys can do it, and what was a relatively close game early on. I mean, Envy's been struggling to get any points over the last couple of minutes.
Wow. 2-minute lead now for Optic Gaming. Wondering where Envy can even begin to come back. Finally, when they try to rotate, there's a fighter pilot now called in. At this point, they might just get 100 point clubbed, and what a statement that would be for the two top teams in the lead in this pool.
And you know, this is one that Optic's been looking forward to. They've been excited about this match to prove they should be in the conversation. Because I know, right when this Envy team formed, I said I think they will be the one to maybe challenge Optic Gaming down the road. I think they do it in the first tournament. Not really, but I do think over the course of the year, that's going to be the roster that can do it. Optic Gaming, I mean, they want to shut me up. They want to shut any fans up.
Oh,
they are destroying Envy here, map 1.
Still with another streak to use. Envy have to continue to pressure this hard point because Optic can win off this hill right now. Glide bomb coming on in. That'll clean up Slasher. 240 to 86. Another glide bomb as streaks rain down from the sky. Optic will see one more hill against Envy. Fighter pilot now. They're going to use this to ensure they can get in this next hard point to shut the door right here.
It's been so bad. I mean, I mentioned a minute ago how bad the past couple minutes were. Over the next minute, they only got 1 second since then.
Ladies and gentlemen, 245 to 86. Crim 6 trying to flood towards this hill. I don't think they'll be able to win right here, as there should be a contest from Envy. Yeah, Temp now staying alive, so still fighting for their life at this point. They just don't want to get 100 point club, maybe.
Yeah, and I don't think we have a map, you know, like Breakout or something last year where you would see those crazy 100, 150 point swings. They would happen quite regularly, really, throughout the course of the Call of Duty World League season, but a lead like this surely seems insurmountable unless Envy is just absolutely perfect and maybe gets every player fully streaked out. Wow. But at least right now, as you take a look at the first hard point in this third rotation, they're making it, I guess you could say, less embarrassing than it once was, at least, to kick off the series.
Everyone getting involved on the side of Optic Gaming. Scump turning things around a little bit from the slow start he had in this game. 245 to 116. Optic set up one final push here potentially for Hook. Not gonna happen. GG's. OG with a statement in map 1, 250 to 116.
Optic Gaming lead the series 1-0, and Jack, to your point, that is a definite statement in there. Envy holding on towards the end of that one, but just couldn't manage to make a comeback there. And I think it's fair to say, Miles, Optic Gaming looks so comfortable in hardcore.
So comfortable. Again, we're not surprised. It's E-Classico by name only right now, because let's face it, this is the very different ENVYUS squad. But again, tons of potential. They're going to grow loads throughout the season. It's going to be incredible. Optic, though, no questions asked, man. Between the streaks, between the kills, everything was on point.
Yep, it was beautiful gameplay.
And it's just, we're in one of those eras right now. I mean, specifically, they were dominant last year, but we talk about all the team changes that happened, coming back to boots, how we expected Optic to dominate. This is like thinking back when Tiger was in his prime and so good that you would take Tiger over the field at certain times. That's how I feel right now. Like if I had to take Optic Gaming,
I think it's golf.
If I had to take Optic or the entire field coming in this tournament,
we have a player named Tiger.
You're taking Optic. They're that dominant right now.
I mean, you're absolutely right. Optic Gaming 1-0 up against ENVYUS, but elsewhere in the tournament, I think it's fair to say this could be the biggest upset so far. You heard me mention it. Vitality LG went to a Game 5. It also went to a round 11. Boys, you were casting, so I didn't want to intrude, but this is a replay of the round 11. It happened mere moments ago.
I mean, John's going to make a play. It's going to be John or
now, you don't know what happened.
I have no idea.
Tell you.
I have no idea.
You're going to see right here, right now. It was ridiculous, Clint.
They had artillery?
Don't worry about it.
Oh my goodness.
Just don't worry about it, Jack. Obviously, you see Jacob falls. It's a 4v3 in Vitality's favor, and you start thinking, okay, surely the French squad can do it. This would be the time.
John's making a play. I know. My baby John. He's going to do it.
You saw something, didn't you?
No, I did. We were casting. John always does some crazy things.
I'm not spoiling it for you, boys. I'm going to spoil it. 45 seconds left on the clock. As you can see, things start to get a little close to the wire. Still 4 versus 3 as well. Vitality waiting so patiently. You think John's going to make a play, Maven? Is this going to be the play you're expecting? Bomb starts to be planted, tagged up from behind, has to get off and falls.
Oh, the 2 guys I picked are dead, so good job, Maeve.
Slacked, 1v3. How much faith do you got in Slacked right now, Jack?
To be honest,
with 20-some seconds, does he do this?
3%.
1v2.
What does that mean? I don't know.
Well,
stop it.
First pick.
Can we get an update on 3% now, Jack?
They don't give this.
7%.
There's no way they give this to him. What was that little dive?
Okay.
Doesn't happen.
Okay.
Oh.
Vitality.
You were hamming that up like it was
Yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna happen.
I was trying to confuse you, okay?
Yeah, you did
The
a
way,
good
the way he
job.
was
Good.
talking, I thought for sure like LG was
I was
somehow
hyped. I was
combined
about to
the 3-4.
freak out.
Nope. Vitality get the win. Game 5, round 11.
3-2.
I love
LG's
this.
first loss.
I have said this for a long time that I think the single biggest thing that would be the biggest for Call of Duty esports would be really, you know, a French team really stepping up big, Spanish team, German team, like some of those international players going big. That's huge, man. That's
Well,
great.
talking of Search and Destroy, as you can see, OPTIC Gaming, Team ENVYUS, map number 2, underway.
I'm still in shock from the last game, the round 11 we just saw, but here we go. OPTIC up 1-0. Envy looking to bounce back, and they're already in a 1 versus 4. Slasher,
What?
prayers, buddy.
What was that setup right there? We got this into this round a little bit late, but I think Envy just sent like 2 people into the site, had no one watching the top push. I think they were both watching the same side, and Karma just killed 3 of them.
I mean, it's hard to hold off with 2, but yes, if you're not watching top specifically, you're going to be in a whole lot of trouble. I know that we've played wagers, and at times I don't watch the correct spot, and you yell at me.
It's most times, actually.
It is a lot.
Oh, and he spots the final one. Karma looking for the ace here in round 1. 35 seconds left. This would be a 1v4 for Slasher, now 1v3. There he goes. OPTIC Gaming take round 1.
Well, he got 3.5. I believe his nade was the assist there on the final kill.
Sure. I forgot. You do so poorly, you count half kills for yourself.
Yes, I do.
I don't think Karma judges himself like that.
Absolutely. You got to take everything you can get, even if you're a 3-time world champion.
Well, Karma, nice job there. As OPTIC Gaming will strike in the first round. Let's see if they go for a B push, just like Envy, except how will they make sure they can't be 3-piece from the top window area?
Well, we know it's going to be very, very B-heavy, unless maybe streaks come involved later. It looks like both teams investing a lot of nades here. Envy actually invests enough to back up OPTIC, and they're going to have to mix things up. It looks like they're going to wrap out to A almost immediately, and Scump just puts Temp 6 feet under.
And the key thing is here, OPTIC able to go right now for this very quick plan A because they have confidence, because Scump is in top mid window. Because Scump is up there, there's no one watching the A-bomb cross. Now they get the objective planted. Even though Slasher makes it a 3v3, this round definitely favors OPTIC Gaming.
Yep, like you said, mid control so big as far as being able to look over and peek the bomb, but as Hook wins a gunfight, gives them a chance in this one, and that's Formal not able to finish. They actually get across and pick him off, so Karma gonna have to go big. Nearly an ace in the first round. He's gonna have to work some magic here. He spotted one. He's worried about his flank and also the mid cut. You see he's coming through mid and he's gone. Hook gets a couple of big kills there. Actually 3 in that round to get it done.
I think the key thing there was Scump, because he charged into that middle window, didn't have Mountain on, and with Airborne was very active, moving around, moving
They heard
around.
him stomping around.
They heard him stomping a little bit. They wind up cleaning him on up, and because of that, because he dies that middle building, it frees up that lane to make a play, which is why Formal got flanked at that middle truck.
Yep, well, to be fair, I think Formal probably should have had a kill mid-map too. You know, he had 2, he was challenging at the barrels. He likely should get 1 kill there at least before dropping, but can't get it done. As a result, Envy now ties things up 1-1, and they're trying to make a fast play behind Airborne into the B side.
Hook. The typical strategy here, you know, is go for this plant while watching your front. OPTIC should time these nades on out to pick him off this site. There we go. Yep, there's the help. Hook definitely got weakened by a second grenade there, and just like that, the bomb is not planted.
And I feel like you need to expect that. Like, if you get into B easily and you're not hit with any nades to slow you up, you know they're doing that.
Yes.
Like, it's just, it should be so obvious. I know you want to get the plant down before it's done, but
We've seen some teams in those scenarios actually plant on the Oh! Temp reads the pressure from Krim, and now he's challenging Karma on the site. Karma's one shot. Temp weak as well. Will he go ahead and challenge this one straight from the front? Karma, I mean, he's got all the cover in the world, but Temp is holding the angle. Does Karma recognize he has to reload? Oh, Temp! Oh, and see, when I talk trash talk, that's what I'm saying. Temp getting fired up, and for damn good reason there with the 1-on-2.
how good does that headshot feel? But that's just, I mean, in that situation, does Karma have the better positioning? Absolutely, absolutely. But after he gets weakened and he has to go down, it actually becomes a tough spot. You're not exactly sure where Temp has moved to.
Yeah.
His crosshairs directly on his head. Good patience by Temp just to hold the angle, wait for Karma to go vertical and bury him.
Wow, big round there for Temp, as he clutches a 1v2 against 2 guys that have combined 5 COD World Championships. Actually, unbelievable. As Slasher will get first blood as Envy look good in this search and destroy.
That's another one behind it. Krim and Formal now going to have to try and clutch a 2v4, and they've, on offense at least, not been able to get into the B site and really get things going like we saw Envy do for a couple of rounds. They've had to wrap it out through mid street. You see Krim roaming towards the A site. Formal now trying to make a play up mid.
Did Slasher spot him in front building? I think yes, he did. So now it will be Crimsix all by himself in the 1-on-3.
Krim trying to make a play here. He's got one at the pillar. Wisely going to back down for now, but Classic just playing with him.
Player in the stairwell. He's pinned in this bottom hardpoint room. As this round should just be done any moment now. 27 seconds left. There he goes. Envy now up 3-1. So right there with Optic Gaming, their play we've seen so far is like they send Karma towards B to try to see if he can spot someone crossing towards that middle statue with his FG and kind of melt him and see if there's a first blood. And if they get that, if you look, they're sending the bomb towards middle street. If Karma gets the first blood B, I believe Optic's play is then flood the site and take it. Or if he doesn't, he tries to stay alive, and then they just rotate to A. Well,
it seems like they've changed something up. I remember Krim tweeted a week or two ago. He said something along the lines like, if you expend your nades and don't get into B, he said, like, you might as well try and jump out of the map because it's so hard to make a play at that point. It seems like they've tried to adapt around that and at least have a secondary strategy if you don't get into B. However, it hasn't really worked very well, and you see how hard it is when you're hitting through mid, hitting towards A. It's very, very difficult.
Look at Envy. They're expecting some sort of Optic pressure. They have not even pushed into the site yet.
Well, I think this time, they know what happened last time, right?
Yeah.
They try to get the bomb down. They catch 2 nades almost immediately. Karma's up in that top window, trying to cook one on the bomb. Let's see if they expend those nades. His Classic has got onto it.
See, look, wait.
Here they go.
Look at where Classic's planning. Can we look at where Classic's planning very quick?
They cook 2. They don't get a kill with it. They do challenge it. They weaken the guy at the back statue. I think weaken him at the back doorway as well. But Temp, again, gunning with the FG.
Yeah, Temp watching over. Classic gets one more week as well. Yeah, this round should be done. Look at where Classic, remember earlier in the game where I talked about planting the bomb on the opposite side? He plants it in that far left corner, Optic expecting him to be planning on his side like you normally would, like they have been so far this whole game.
It's a good job adapting.
Mind games right there.
Yeah, make Optic guess a little bit, right?
So good, man. That's what it's all about. Everything we've seen so far this weekend in Search and Destroy has been using those grenades. Obviously now everyone using Hunker lets you eat 1 grenade. It takes 2 to kill you. So it's up to teams to coordinate exactly where they want to hit. Optic picked the wrong side of the bomb that time because A, they have no eyes on it, and B, Envy play that mind game.
Yeah, Karma looked like he threw it kind of deep. Like, it looked like he was almost trying to hit the player on the back tower and also the bomb. I couldn't tell exactly where it went, but definitely not close to tagging up Classic. Now, finally, Optic going to be able to get into B. They'll get this plant down. And those come the 2 nades.
And those nades come flying over from middle map. So there's a nade spot. If you hit that front courtyard, you see multiple Envy blue arrows there. They're now retaking to try to pinch from this flank. This is just so smart, man.
It is. But like you know, even in a 3v4, if you have the B side, it's still very, very winnable for Optic. But it's 2 drop and they pinch. I mean, everyone just gets swarmed. I mean, what could Optic have done differently once you get the bomb down? Was that just perfectly played by Envy?
What I liked right there was that Envy show that they're hitting 3 in middle. So they expect someone from Optic to try to rewrap the flank, get out of that site so that they can kind of move around, pinch those players in that position. So what do? They have Temp waiting for someone to get aggressive, holding that other side of the site. Scump goes flying out. Once Temp kills him, that's basically Envy knowing, hey, they've got to be pinned in that back building. They collapse and clean them up. A clean sweep in that round.
That's good read by Temp, because I would prefer Scump just kind of hold that site. You know how easy it is to hold when you've got 3 guys in, but as you lose one and Krim's out the back, becomes much more difficult. But yes, Classic now, fighter pilot and a glide bomb to work with, and a 5-1 advantage. Envy dismantling Optic Gaming right now on St. Marie.
Wow, looking good so far. Are the boys in blue, and with these streaks, they've got to be feeling great. A quick flank, though, does come in from Crimsix this round. That'd be a little bit uncomfortable. Hook all by himself left in this B site.
You can do a lot from this B site, but a 1v3 might be too much for the youngster. Is 2 at the flank, 1 from up top, and he is taken out. Optic would now have to pull it back from 1-5.
So when we talk about shoulder peaks, right there, that was a perfect example of one. You see how Hook, he's holding that top angle. Scump has no intention of getting in a gunfight with him there. He just peeks his shoulder out, spots at the players there, says, hey, Krim and Karma or Krim and Formal, whoever left, come on through. They come, charge forward, clean up that kill.
Well, you saw as soon as Hook saw him shoulder peeking, he immediately looks to the back. Yes. He knows it's coming, but there's only so much you could do in that tough spot.
If you hear your teammate in rank play, folks at home say, shoulder peek it, I got you. That's what they're talking about. That's a shoulder peek right there. Lessons with Uncle Jack.
I'm the worst shoulder peeker of all time.
That costs you guys money watching at home. I don't know how many you're paying me, but it's going to happen.
All right, well, Hook, now with a first blood, this could be the final round here. But
with streaks, too?
You've got the bomb planted. The streaks are going to be the big thing. Yep, and they're going to invest them. So the streaks do start to come in.
Oh, I love that, man.
And they get out. Nope, Karma dead. He tried to push to the front, maybe get a kill before he's taken out, but not able to do it.
4 versus 2. Scumping. That's all that they care about. So it's more right there in that ban for me. I read that as Envy banning Optic's best map, and then Optic is banning the map that they hate more than anything. So I think they're just kind of like, okay, we're fine with playing those other two hard.
It's going to go that way every
single time.
You have to feel that way. Then, of course, Search and Destroy. We'll see how those vetoes went in just a few moments. Of course, they are looking at Optic Gaming, getting ready on the main stage. As for Search and Destroy vetoes, Optic Gaming get rid of USS Texas. They don't want any part of that. Team ENVYUS get rid of London Docks. So we have Ardennes Forest, St. Marie du Mont. Optic Gaming pick St. Marie du Mont. That will be map 2 in ENVYUS.